Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to 5 reasons why no one can beat the US Marine Corps. Now, the Marine Corps has somewhat of a reputation, internationally. In a lot of movies, they're depicted as being, among the best soldiers that the US can produce. The training that they go through is grueling. These guys and these ladies and gents are conditioned well. They are trained very well. They're very good at doing their job. But what separates them from, the Navy, the naval officers? What separates them from the Air Force? What separates them from the General Army? What makes the Marine Corps different? And this video here, I'm hoping it's going to answer those questions for me, because there's a lot of different soldier units in the US, and the Marine Corps is probably the most talked about one. So yeah, this should be interesting. Let's do it.
The US Marines' 5 most lethal weapons.
What is that? Some kind of that is a machine gun, right? Fully automatic.
The US Marine Corps prides itself on being America's 911 force, a fire brigade that the president can call upon to fight the nation's battles in an emergency. Though the Marines have largely been treated as a de facto second land army over the past dozen years, the service is an integral component of the Department of the Navy and is primarily a maritime force. Therefore, the Marines, as a specialized amphibious force, argue that they need unique hardware to conduct their unique missions. While the service has many different types of weapons, here's a selection of their 5 key systems.
Okay, let's go. That thing is...
Number 1. Marine Rifleman. While not a weapon system in the traditional sense of the word, the Marine Corps warrior ethos and superb training make the service what it is. Every single Marine, from the lowest private to the commandant himself, is trained first and foremost as an infantryman. Even the Marines' naval aviators undergo 9 months of infantry training as part of officer candidate school and the basic school before they go off to flight school. The shared experience of fighting alongside Marines on the ground gives the service a level of cohesion that the other branches lack. Ultimately, it is the Marine Corps' people that make it arguably the most effective branch of the armed forces. Number 2. M1A1 Abrams.
The legendary tank. That thing is a beast.
While the Marine Corps prides itself on being a strategically mobile medium-weight force, there are times when it needs the brute force of heavy armor. That brute force is provided by the General Dynamics M1A1 Abrams. While not quite as advanced as the US Army's M1A2 SCP-V2, the Marines' M1A1 Firepower Enhancement Package suits the Marines' purposes of...
God, that thing must weigh a ton. I'm guessing 50 tons, something like that? Yeah.
Supporting
easy.
The service as infantry. The Abrams is armed with a 120mm cannon and is protected with an armor matrix that incorporates depleted uranium armor. With a 1500 HP Honeywell gas turbine engine, it can move at more than 45 miles per hour.
That's impressive for something so big and heavy. It looks very maneuverable too.
Number 3. AH-1C Viper. The Bell AH-1C Viper is an American twin-engine attack helicopter based on the AH-1W Super Cobra that was developed for the United States Marine Corps as part of the H-1 upgrade program. The AH-1Z features a 4-blade, bearingless, composite main rotor system, uprated transmission, and a new target sighting system. The AH-1Z is powered by a pair of 1800 SHP General Electric T700 turboshaft engines that is coupled with a new 4-bladed composite rotor system that...
you would not want to see that thing heading towards you. Like if you were the enemy, would you? You'd just be like...
gives the helicopter exceptional agility. It carries a suite of advanced sensors, including a Lockheed Martin target sight system, and can carry the Longbow radar system. Like the Army's AH-64E Apache, it can carry 16 Hellfire missiles, but also adds an air-to-air punch with its ability to fire AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles.
That thing is carrying a lot of weaponry, man.
Number 4. Boeing AV-8B Harrier II. The AV-8B Harrier jump jet affords the Marines' expeditionary units their own organic fixed-wing air support. For the Marines, who can't always afford ready access to heavy artillery, aircraft act as mobile fire support. While the Harrier is not the best fighter or strike aircraft, until the Lockheed Martin F-35B Joint Strike Fighter becomes operational, it's the only short takeoff, vertical landing aircraft that can operate from amphibious assault ships.
I see. So something like the F-18 or the F-16 can't do that?
The subsonic attack aircraft, though perhaps a compromise in many respects, is essential to the Marines' unique concept of operations.
Interesting, the way it's
The Harrier will be replaced in favor of the Joint Strike Fighter over the coming years. The service hopes to retire the venerable jet by 2025, reversing an earlier plan to keep the AV-8B in service past 2030. Instead, the Marines will keep their Boeing FA-18A, B, C, D aircraft until the F-35B replaces those jets also. Number 5. Light Armored Vehicle Series. As a highly mobile, medium-weight force, the Marines don't want to be weighed down by heavy armored vehicles. However, some mechanized forces are necessary. For the Marines, many of those needs are met by versions of the General Dynamics Light Armored Vehicle Series, LAV. A Marine Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion includes many variants of the LAV, including the LAV-25, LAV-AT, LAV-L, LAV-M, LAV-Rs, and LAV-C2s.
I mean, they're called light armored vehicles, but they probably still weigh at least, I'd say, 25 tons, something like that. And when you think about the average people carrier, like a Jeep or an SUV, that probably weighs maybe 2 or 3 tons. So it's like almost 10 times the weight.
Which all have their individual functions, ranging from anti-tank and anti-air to command and control. Fast and agile, the most common LAV-25 is packed with a 25mm automatic cannon and a pair of 7.62mm machine guns. It can move at speeds exceeding 63 miles an hour.
Wow, it's not bad. It's pretty quick for something so, you know, bulky. 60 miles an hour, that's going to outrun anybody. Is that one fully remote? I didn't see anybody on that. Like fully autonomous. They must have autonomous LAVs that you can just, like, or not autonomous, that you can remote control.
Bring it up another 4. Fire!
Whoo! God, there's nothing like seeing a tank fire from that massive cannon. I mean, that's more of that's an LAV, but still. The sound of it, it's just insane. Imagine being at Bastogne, you know, and you've got all those shells coming in at you. Drive you mad. Like Bastogne in World War II. Oof. Gosh, the force of it threw the tank back a little bit. That just tells you just how powerful, you know, just how quickly that projectile was coming out of there. I wonder how much one of those things, you know, costs. It's got to be over $1 million, right? Probably well over $1 million. Not cheap, that's for sure. I wonder how many like of those that the US has like in total of those tanks, like the M18 ones. If I had to guess, maybe a few hundred of them. Probably more.
Good.
So it does seem that the Marines are quite unique. They're not just like another group of soldiers. They serve their own purpose. Very cool. Great video, really answered my question. So the Marine Corps basically are an amphibious branch of the military. It's not like just the general army where they're predominantly land-based. These guys have a specific use, and it's cool just seeing the weapons and the vehicles that they have at their disposal. It's interesting learning about what each branch does, what each branch has at their disposal, you know, that they go and they fulfill their missions with. I definitely want to learn more about the different branches, what separates them, you know, from each other, you know, why they are, you know, why they exist really. I'm probably going to do a video about the branches soon, but yeah, this video is really, really cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.